Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new video. Oh my god, I cannot wait to get into these fragrances. I am sitting down and talking about purely gourmand scents. Nothing here is super floral, super woodsy, super mainstream. These are all true gourmand scents. Like when someone goes in for a hug, they're not going to be like, oh my god, you smell incredible. They're going to say, you smell delicious. I am going to mention some base fragrances because I am a big believer in the power of layering your fragrances, body oils, some body mist that go along with these incredible gourmand fragrances. Please leave your comment down below. Let me know what you think of these fragrances. Get your notepad, okay? Whether it's on your phone, piece of paper, we're going to talk about a lot of fragrances. So please do me a favor and get yourself a drink because this might be a long video. I'm going to be sipping on some red wine. That's good. But let me start off with body oils. And when it comes to body oils, I have to say that currently I am truly obsessed with Brown Sugar Babe. Like, honey, this brand has me hooked. I've been wearing the scent Mugler and I'm halfway done because I love this oil. It is inspired by Lira from Joseph and it's pretty identical. This body oil, not only does it smell incredible, it's so nourishing on the skin. Like my skin feels super soft, supple. The glow is undeniable and the scent bubble on these oils are pretty impressive. So I've been loving Brown Sugar Babe. I don't know why it took me so long to try out their oils, but I am hooked. Instantly hooked. Like I said, my favorite right now is Mugler, but I also want to recommend these two over here that are perfect to go along with your gourmand scents, okay? So this is, by the way, if you don't know, Black owned, woman owned, so please do support. I will link them down below. And if you are Canadian, I will link down below a shipping forwarding site that I have been using for almost 2 years now, and it's never failed me. I use Shipsy. I'm not making any commission. This is not sponsored, but that is what I use to order stuff that doesn't directly ship to Canada. The other scent that I love is Pink Pound Cake. Oh, this is delicious. It's absolutely delicious. It's like vanilla batter, like cake batter. It smells so good. And then the other one that I have here is Crème de la Crème. My God. Like, delicious, sugary, creamy vanilla scent. All of these are true gourmand. If you go up on the website, you can see all the ingredients and all of that stuff. But definitely, if you've been on the fence about Brown Sugar Babe, I'm here to let you know that you absolutely need to try them out. Worth the hype. The other brand that I'm going to mention, and this is new to me, okay? I literally just got this package probably 5 days ago. This was not sent to me. I'm not on the PR list. I bought this with my own money, and this is Skinpotion. I ordered the scent Yummie. It's in collaboration with a fellow influencer, and I really wanted to support her. I love her content so much. So when she came out with this collaboration, I knew I had to have it. I know she came out with like a body butter too, but that completely sold out. And so I ended up getting just the oil, created with Tahitian vanilla and marshmallow. Oh my God, this smells so good. When I smelled this, it reminded me a lot of Lira. It has a little bit of a citrusy tone, but definitely that beautiful, like creamy, caramelly vanilla scent. It reminds me of Lira a lot. So if you've already tried out Lira, try this one out. The oil is, again, really nourishing, really light on the skin. I want to say that this one is a little bit lighter than Brown Sugar Babe. Brown Sugar Babe is a bit thicker in the consistency, which I don't mind, especially at nighttime after I did my everything shower. I want to lather my skin with the most emollient products ever, because I know that the next morning I will wake up so soft. So I love that. But this one's definitely a lighter consistency. I see myself wearing this more like I'm going out. I have certain type of fabric on and I don't want to get oil on it. I want it to absorb super fast, because you can see that that absorbed really fast. Like, yes, I do have a glow, but my hands do not feel greasy whatsoever. And again, the scent, absolutely delicious and perfect as a base. Like if you really want your fragrance to project and last, creating a base, a layering base, is crucial to that. So if you're the type of person that says, my fragrances don't last, I never get compliments, sometimes I can't even smell it, babes, create a pyramid. Okay, a layering pyramid. You're gonna start in the shower, you're gonna come out, you're gonna hydrate your skin with a really nice rich body butter, you're gonna layer that with an oil to lock in that moisture, and then you are going to apply your fragrances, and be sure to put that on. Okay, don't do 2-3 sprays. We want to go a little bit heavy-handed. You can even take it another step and add just a light layer of oil on top of it again, and trust me, your fragrance isn't going nowhere. I can guarantee you, if you do that layering pyramid, as I like to call it, your fragrances are not going anywhere. I'll definitely do a body care video for the winter, but let's talk about body mists. And I love these just to go on top of my fragrance or before my fragrance. I don't think it makes a huge difference. It really depends on how heavy your fragrance is in terms of which way you're going to layer your scented products. I always start with the lightest and move on to the heaviest as the end, unless I am trying to get the lighter scent to be heavier than the heavier scent. So I will go a little bit lighter handed with the heavier scent. I hope that really made sense to you guys. Okay, let's start off with Bath & Body Works because they are killing it right now. I'm so amazed at the quality of their body mist right now. I think something happened over there in the formulation that they have taken it to the next level. Their formulations are incredible. I love the Vanilla Romance line. If you haven't tried this collection, please do yourself a favor and do it. I have the body butter, I have the body mist, and the shower gel, and they smell so good. It smells like a refined niche vanilla fragrance. Oh my God. This to me smells like a musky vanilla, but I still get a large dose of sugar and like this caramel creamy vibe. It doesn't just smell straight up like a perfume. To me, it still smells quite edible. It smells very delicious and very feminine. And I love that this layers perfectly with other Gourmand scents, or you can simply wear it on its own. And I think that it has a little bit more complexity than just a flat vanilla. So loving this one. If you really want it to project, do the body butter, do the spray, and you are good to go. Like, the projection on this one is really impressive. The next one from Bath & Body Works that I really like is Milk. This is another collection that they have. I got the body butter and the body spray. Yeah, those are the only two things that I got from this collection. Love the body spray. I wear it quite a bit when I'm at home because this one is not heavy. It does have this fluffy lactonic vibe, but it's not ultra heavy. Vanilla Romance is definitely on the heavier side, while this one is a little bit lighter. So it's great if you just want to cozy up at home, or maybe you're going for coffee. You don't want to do the most with your scent, but you want it to kind of slightly project. This is a really nice scent. I love this one right out of the shower, in the morning, going to a coffee shop with my husband. I wear this quite a bit. Like I said, this is lighter. It's like a very fluffy kind of white musk, lactonic, marshmallowy, cloud-like scent to me. It's quite feminine. It's giving that clean girl aesthetic, that vanilla girl aesthetics vibe. That's what you're going to get with this one. So really like this one. I definitely can overspray this one over here because it's not super heavy. And I just think they did a really good job with this collection. The next one that I love to layer with a lot of my fragrances, whether they're vanilla or not, I sometimes layer this with a lot of my florals for date night, and this is Victoria's Secret Bare Vanilla. Look at the dent that I have on this one. I already have 2 backups because I like this so much. This smells sexy. I think that it is just so feminine, so light, so soft, and so sexy and flirty at the same time. This can easily be a signature scent, and it's a little flirty, but it's still a little bit reserved. I love this one. I love this one. It smells so good, and it's quite heavy. I find that it's really potent. I definitely overspray because I want it to project a little bit more, but on its own, I would spray these on my clothes clothes rather than my skin. So I tend to spray the body mist on my clothes and on my hair. Now let's talk about Flur. I love me some Flur. They are quickly becoming one of my favorite brands at Sephora. This one is called Heavy Cream. Now when they came out with Heavy Cream, they did come out with coconut skin and vanilla skin, and I do love those two, but I think this is the most gourmand out of all of them. Now when I smell Heavy Cream, I do get this like lactonic vibe, but it's not ultra creamy. It's more milky to me. It's musky also in the dry down, but it's still ultra gourmand. I get almost like this coconut milk vibe from this fragrance. So like a thicker coconut cream, and a musky dry down. And it really does smell so good. And the thing with the Fleur body mist, they are heavy. Like, I honestly feel like they perform almost like perfume. I got one more to mention and then we're getting into the fragrances. This is the newest one from Ellis Brooklyn and it's called Vanilla Sin. And this one for me is more of a fruity gourmand, I want to say, because you get a lot of cherry in this one, but it's also a really nice body and hair mist. I definitely get, ooh, that atomizer is gorgeous. Like, it's a beautiful, fine mist. Love that. Creamy, cherry-esque, vanilla. Oh, I get a little bit of this marshmallow vibe in here too. It smells really, really good. The cherry in here is not done ultra heavy. It's not too tarty. It just has a little bit of hints of cherry in there and you get this very nice creamy cloud from this fragrance. So I really like this. I think it's going to be great for the fall, especially with that cherry note. It's really going to be a scent that I find myself layering a lot with other fragrances. I probably wouldn't wear it on its own, but definitely layered. I think it's great, especially even for evenings and date nights. It has a little bit of a sexy flair to it. So love this one from Ellis Brooklyn. So now that we talked about all of these gorgeous body mists, let's talk about these fragrances. When I think of designer fragrances and gourmand, these are the two that always stand out to me because they are true gourmands in my opinion. Starting off with Prada Candy Night, and I hope this is not discontinued. If it is, I will try and find a retailer online that sells this one. But this fragrance is a chocolatey scent. It smells ultra delicious, but still very refined and sophisticated to me. I mean, I am so surprised that not more people talk about this scent. Even back in the days when I started talking about fragrances, I didn't hear a lot of people talking about this one. And then as it starts to dry down, that's when you get that chocolatey, cacao-y aspect. The scent is slightly powdery. There's a bit of iris in here, and in the opening there is a citrusy fruit in here. So you get that brightness, but you also get the powderiness in this scent. And then as it starts to dry down, you'll get some of the warmth from the tonka bean, that sweetness from the vanilla. The chocolate, of course, is there. It's a deeper chocolate. There is patchouli in this fragrance, and I don't find that it's off-putting whatsoever to me. For me, I get some of the patchouli, but I definitely get a lot of that chocolate. I do get a ton of that kind of powderiness, and to me it smells more like a cacao powder when I smell this scent. So ultra gourmand Angel Muse from Mugler. This has been around since 2016, so it's quite an older fragrance. Well, a little bit, not that old. And this is just one of those standalone fragrances. Mugler is one of the brands that came out with the first mainstream gourmand fragrance with Angel, but I think this is way more gourmand. It has a hazelnut, chocolate hazelnut note in here. Of course, there is still patchouli. Back in the days, patchouli was definitely a thing in the base notes. So there is patchouli in here and some people don't like it. But when I tell you this is the most beast mode fragrance in my collection when it comes to designer fragrances, I am not joking. This will last you for days. This will project like crazy. It's strong, okay? But this is definitely a true gourmand. In the opening, it's a little bit bright, it's a little bit spicy, and then you get that chocolatey note in there. There's patchouli, but sometimes when they mix patchouli with other notes, I get more chocolate from the patchouli, which is kind of weird. And it's just a very gourmand-esque fragrance. If you like chocolate in your fragrances, these are the two that I love to recommend when it comes to designer fragrances. I think that they are... The quality of these, they don't make that often anymore, where designer fragrances really project and have that beast mode power. I don't see that all too often with a lot of the launches from designer fragrances. So these are staples. These are ones that I never take away from my collection, even if I don't wear them that often because I have more options. I think that these are classics and they will always remain in my collection. Staying in the topic of chocolate, we're going to talk about Montale's Chocolate Greedy, and this is definitely a very chocolate forward fragrance. It's very delicious, it's super gourmand, and I do find that the lasting power is pretty decent on this one. There is notes of cacao, there's vanilla, there's tonka bean, I think there's some dried fruits in here. So there are a lot of really delicious sweet notes in here that smell absolutely great on the skin. Oh, yes, yes. I think there's bitter orange in here. I get that kind of vibe in here. The chocolate is just delicious. It's not too dark. It's not like a milk chocolate. Everything's really balanced nicely, and it is a true gourmand. Like, if you like it, if you like that chocolatey aspect in your fragrances, this is a nice one. And I find that this is great to layer with other fragrances. Like, I've layered this with Kilian's Angel Share, and it just went really nicely. Like, with boozy scents, this one pairs really great with it. So that is Chocolate Greedy. I do find that this one is not as beast mode as other Montale fragrances, but you can overspray this one to get the longevity that you want. Like, say you're looking for 7-8 hours plus, all you have to do is overspray it slightly, and that's how I get this to last for a long time. But mind you, if my fragrances last about 4 hours, I'm happy with it because I don't need any fragrance to last me like 8 hours. Where am I for 8 hours that I need my fragrance to last that long? So it's never a deal breaker for me, but I make them work. Next up, we have a fragrance that almost broke the internet. Like, this was super duper viral, and this is Bianco Latte from Giardini di Toscana. This is a really delicious kind of like lactonic fragrance. It's not super milky to me. I get more of the caramel and the vanilla in this fragrance as opposed to like milky vibes. I don't even think there is milk in here, but when you think of Bianco Latte, you think of like a milky coffee-esque fragrance, but you don't really get that. To me, again, it's more like caramelly, vanilla. It's kind of warm, but yet clean, musky in the dry down, and it's just a really true gourmand fragrance. It smells really edible. It smells like you just walked into like a bakery and they have beautiful cake in front of you. It is a fragrance that I like. Do I think it's worth the price point? I'm kind of on the fence, I'll be honest. Ever since I purchased it myself, it is quite a pricey fragrance, and I feel like with what we have on the market now, you have so many options that can compare to this one that I don't know if it's unique enough for me to say it is an absolute must-have, to be honest. So this one, it's nice. I like it that I have it in my collection. I don't reach for it that often to be really honest, even when it comes to layering my fragrances, but I get where the hype came from. I just feel like you can get a little bit more. Okay, so if you want the vibe from this one, I would definitely recommend checking out Eclair from Lattafa. These are pretty much identical to one another, slight differences, but you're not really going to be able to tell when you smell them yourself. So this is probably under $50 compared to this one, which in Canada is going to run you about $200+. So there's a big difference. So I would definitely just recommend getting Lattafa. Next, I have Mirage Gourmand. This is from the brand Lenoble's Essence Paris. This is absolutely delicious. When I smell this one, I get a lot of almond, but I think there's also pistachio in here. It's like this nutty vanilla fragrance. It literally smells like some sort of cookie or a sponge cake. There's something in here that just like you close your eyes and you are absolutely smelling a dessert. Like this is thicker, it's heavier, it's very much that addictive scent profile when it comes to gourmand fragrances. It doesn't smell like a perfume. It smells ultra gourmand, and so you have to really enjoy those kind of fragrances that smell like you literally are walking a bakery or a dessert, a delicious dessert at that. So you have to like almondy tones in your fragrance, because I get a lot of that on my skin, and it is a fragrance that I adore wearing at home. And I'm gonna be real frank with you guys, when it comes to leaving my house and going to like events, special events and things of that nature, I don't tend to wear a lot of my gourmand fragrances on their own, because I don't want to borderline smell like food. I still want to smell like I'm wearing a fragrance. Does that make sense to you guys? So a lot of the times when I do wear gourmand scents, I'm using them as layering fragrances with other scents. So with this one, definitely I'm layering her up with another fragrance that I think will cut down some of that like true gourmand edge where it just smells like food, because I don't really want to smell like food. I want to smell good, but not just like food. Does that make sense? But yeah, this is a gourmand video, so we're talking about true gourmands, but this is definitely absolutely delicious. It's very refined, very well blended. I think that it lasts really well, so it's one that I absolutely recommend. Even just getting a sample of this one, especially if you love that nutty vanilla scent, this is an absolute must-have in your collection. Another fragrance that almost broke the internet, this is Escapade Gourmand from Maison Montale. This is the only fragrance that this brand has, and I know they're working on another scent. They've been hinting it on Instagram. If you follow them, you will see based on their posts, something is cooking, and I'm really excited to see what they come up with. This is absolutely delicious. For me, I get more of the caramel versus the vanilla. I'm actually going to start using some strips before I have no more space on my skin and I'm mixing everything up. So this one has, of course, vanilla. I think there's caramel in here. There's benzoin, and it's just a delicious, silky gourmand fragrance. I love this one. This is one that it smells like a true gourmand, but to me it still smells like a fragrance. It doesn't give me like, oh my god, I smell like food, but it's still very gourmand, right? I love this one. It's so silky and like luscious, a little bit more grown as opposed to some other gourmands that may feel a little bit more juvenile. I can absolutely wear this one. I do like to layer this fragrance too, but I just love that silkiness in the dry down. The texture of this fragrance is really beautiful. To me, it's a linear fragrance. There's not a lot of developing in the scent. Same with Bianco latte. I don't find a lot of it develops. What you spray is what you get in the dry down with this one. So you don't have to wait for it to sit and see how it smells afterwards. I don't get that sense with this fragrance, but I love the benzoin in here in the dry down. It's just so smooth and silky and rich, and it smells really refined. This is definitely one that I will absolutely recommend. And a lot of the times I get a question between this one and Bianco latte, which one would you pick? And I would pick this one. There's something about this one that just pulls me a little bit closer than the Bianco latte. Maybe it's the lactonicness in the Bianco latte that is not my vibe completely, and I just like something a little bit more silky as opposed to a heavy creamy vibe. Could be that, but I definitely prefer this one here. Switch gears and go on to something that is not lactonic. It's not super caramel, still gourmand, but more of a fruity gourmand, and this is Strawberry Letter from Flur. I actually just got this last week, and this is just straight up fruity. Like it smells like a candy to me. It's very fruity. The strawberry in here is pretty realistic. It's juicy, it's mouth-watering. This is definitely for the fruity fragrance lovers. You are gonna absolutely adore this one because that is mainly what I get. I still find this a little bit more on the playful, younger side. Like, this is not the type of fragrance that I would grab myself personally, because I just feel like it's just not really vibing with where I am in life, my personality, or even the way that I dress or carry myself. I think this is a little bit more on the younger crowd. Like, that's just my personal opinion. Could I wear this? More of a layering fragrance, but definitely not on its own. And it's probably one that I'm going to pass to my daughter. I know she would absolutely love this. My daughter's turning 13, so this is something that she would really enjoy, and it's kind of playful, young, youthful, and all of that good stuff. So if you like those kind of fragrances that are very fruity, strawberry, still very sweet, very young, very modern, and very playful, this is definitely one that you should try out for yourself. Next, we have one of my favorite gourmands of this year in terms of all the launches that I've seen. This is absolutely amazing. Even though this is quite playful, very fun, I still think it's so beautiful. It's still really refined, and so many different age groups can enjoy this fragrance. This is Kayali Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar 42. I definitely love this one, and it's one that gets me compliments. Like I said, it's very youthful, it's very fun and playful and not too serious, but something about it is just so delicious. Like, oh my God, that scent is so delicious. I love to layer this one too, but the notes in here are just beautiful. So there is candied pear, there's sweet violet, bubblegum, white caramel, rock sugar, vanilla cream. This is just so, it's sweet, it's vanillic, yet there's this fruity freshness in this fragrance, and it just sits on the skin really nicely. It's very feminine, very, like I said, playful, flirty, you know what I mean? You don't take yourself too seriously, and I think that it just really projects nicely. People definitely can smell it when you wear it. It's one of my favorites from Kayali. I think they did such an incredible job with this one. When you think of like Vanilla 28, that's like the grown, a little bit grown, more serious, sophisticated sister, while this one, she's fun, she's loud, she's the life of the party. That's the way I see this fragrance. I have layered this one with Le Labo Another 13, and I find that they went so well together. They smelled incredible. Like, I got a lot of compliments and questions on what I was wearing, and it was with this one, and I think it just added a little bit more of that grounded kind of vibe to this fragrance, but definitely one you want to check out if you love your gourmand fragrances. This is true gourmand because it's quite sweet, but at the same time it still smells like a fragrance. So if that's your kind of vibe, if you've never tried this one, absolutely do it. I adore this fragrance. Since we're talking about Kayali, I am going to mention Vanilla 28 from Kayali. My juice is so dark. This fragrance is absolutely a staple in your collection if you love gourmands, if you love vanilla scents. This is one that you absolutely need in your life. Okay, let me just spray this on the paper because I have to spray this one. Now this one, you get a lot of vanilla. It's warm. This is warm, slightly spicy. It smells really sexy and sensual. There is vanilla in here, but there's also floral notes that I start to pick up now. And this is just femme fatale. Like this smells super sensual, super sexy. It's just the perfect fragrance for a date night. It's perfect to layer with other fragrances or even wear on its own, and it smells just so feminine, like very sexy feminine vibes. Like, this is a great date night fragrance, whether you've been on dates a million times like my husband and I, or it's your first date, second date, honey, you can wear this and it smells just intoxicatingly good. Like, people will gravitate towards you with this fragrance. It just has that addictive nature. It's a scent that really envelops a room, especially if you overspray her, honey, she will be taking over the entire room. It's a scent that gets you a lot of compliments, and it's a cult favorite, and for a reason. It is just done so perfectly well, and I find, I don't know what it is, but the more it sits on my collection and I spray it, the more it just gets better and better. The juice is absolutely gorgeous, and I adore the way this smells. So sexy. And I have layered these two together, by the way, and they layer really nicely. Like, try it out. If you haven't already, try it out. They smell gorgeous together. One more for Kayali, because Kayali does gourmands really well. This is Yum Pistachio Gelato 33, and this is just, wow. This is a very fluffy, light, airy gourmand scent that is just so easy to wear. It has this like cloud-like vibe. So in here you're gonna get pistachio, gelato, hazelnut, sweet rum, whipped cream, marshmallow, cotton candy. It smells so, so good. So good. It's definitely gourmand, but it's quite unique. Like when you smell this one, it's very unique. It might like take you back a little bit and be like, it's clean, like almost like soapy clean also, but then you get that marshmallow and that creaminess, that very fluffy vibe. The texture of this fragrance is very fluffy, and to me it just smells so delicious. On its own, it is perfect. It's the type of gourmand that you can wear all year round. It doesn't have to be reserved for fall and winter because it's not overly sweet, but it is sweet. But there's something in here that's more of like a clean fluffiness, and it's just super unique. Definitely one you want to get your nose on when it comes to Kayali fragrances. I mean, they have so many. There's something there for everyone, but this is one that I absolutely recommend. Of course, I had to mention this fragrance. I think it's in everyone's gourmand video, and this is Lira from Casamorati. This is Jerzoff's line, and this fragrance is delicious. It's like a citrusy, caramel, vanilla-esque fragrance. It smells so, so good. Even though this smells like a true gourmand scent, I can actually wear this one on its own, and it smells just so cozy and inviting to me. I love, 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 love that vanilla tone in here. I love the citrusiness in this fragrance also. Oh, it opens up really bright, very fresh, very like zesty, and then automatically that starts to soften down and you get more of the sweeter notes in here, and it just smells like a baked, I don't know, lemon pie, if you will, and it just smells so delicious, so cozy, so inviting. It's not a sexy fragrance to me. It's more of a warm, cozy hug type of scent. So wintertime, this is beautiful on the scarf. If you have a big jacket on, really great on the collar, and it just smells really good. This is one that lasts really well on me too, especially if I put this on clothes, like I spray it on my clothes. It lasts for hours and hours, and the sillage is just so beautiful. It's not overly cloying to the point that like you can't spray too much or it feels like you're getting choked up. It's really well balanced with the sweetness and the citrusy tone. It's balanced so nicely that you can definitely do quite a few sprays and it's not too much, and it just smells so good. If you love that like vanilla citrus tone, this is an absolute must try. Next we have a true vanilla scent. Like I think there's only 2 or 3 notes in this fragrance, and I think the main one is vanilla, and this is from Indult Paris. It's called Tahota. It took me a while to get this in my collection, but boy am I glad that I have this one. Mesmerizing. Mesmerizing. This smells so good. Oh my god, I have to spray this one on paper too. This is created by Francis Kurkdjian. It's been out for quite a bit, and I don't know, I don't find it super popular here on YouTube. I hear it more about it over on TikTok, but definitely a true vanilla scent and worth every single penny. Oh yeah, it smells very silky, very soft. It's not sickening sweet. It's not cloying and heavy. It's actually quite light, but that vanilla is very smooth. It kind of like reminds me of the texture of Vanilla 28 from Kayali, that smoothness that you get in that fragrance. This is kind of the vibe that I get in this one, but it's a true sweet vanilla scent, a little bit sexy, great for layering with all your other fragrances, because this one to me is more of a linear fragrance. There's not a lot going on. It has a little bit of this musky edge in the dry down, so it blends nicely with a ton of different fragrance, whether they're gourmand or not. Even if you were to layer this with Le Labo Another 13, it would do really well with that one, because you're going to get a little bit more of a complexity, but they're going to blend nicely because there's not a lot going on in this one. It's quite linear, like I said, but this is just a great base fragrance. But if you are a true vanilla lover, I love smelling like vanilla, point blank period, then this is definitely a fragrance that I would recommend you checking out. This is from Born to Stand Out, and it's called Sugar Addict. It smells absolutely amazing. This is a boozy gourmand. So in here, you're gonna get like some cacao, you're gonna get vanilla, you're gonna get coffee, you're gonna get rum. So it's a really kind of like complex fragrance, but everything is blended so nicely that it's easy to understand this fragrance. It's more of a heavier fragrance. Oh my God, yes. Yes, when you first spray it, you definitely get that like, boozy nature, kind of like what you get from Angel Share. You're gonna get a little bit of that vibe in here. Yeah, like now I see it. I get a little bit of that vibe from Angel Share in here, and I think it's the rum, but then you get like cacao, you get vanilla, you get tonka bean in here. It's warm, it's sweet, it's addictive, it's cozy. And this one to me doesn't smell overly gourmand to the point that I just smell like food. I could definitely wear this on its own on a winter day, and it just smells so good. It actually smells quite rich to me. It smells very luxurious in my opinion. So definitely one that I recommend you getting. It's Sugar Addict, but it's not just a pure sugar fragrance, so don't be deceived by that name. There's a lot going on in here. It's a sweetness that smells quite luxurious, so absolutely recommend. You can get this on Twisted Lily. A lot of the fragrances that you can get on Twisted Lily, I'm going to link it down below, and you can use my code Karina10 to get 10% off on Twisted Lily, so don't be afraid to use the code and save some money. Full transparency, I do make a little commission on that. So now I'm going to recommend a super affordable option. Well, quite affordable compared to the ones that I've been talking about. This is Eilish from Billie Eilish. I don't wear her that often, I'll be completely honest, again, because I have so many options, but this is a true gourmand scent in my opinion. The bottle, I love it. I think it's so artistic, it's beautiful. I really adore the color and the sheen on this bottle. So beautiful. I think they did an incredible job, and I was actually really surprised that her first fragrance was a gourmand. I didn't even see her as a girl that liked gourmand fragrances, to be honest. Spicy, bright in the opening, but instantly I get a creamy vanilla scent in the dry down. It starts to dry down pretty fast. I get like this delicious caramelly vanilla vibe in the dry down. It's so good to me. There is still like this freshness that I get in the background. I don't know what it is. I actually didn't look up the notes for this one before the video, which I should have, but to me this is a really great starter gourmand fragrance. If you're not used to gourmands, like true gourmands with that creamy vanilla vibe, this is definitely that I recommend you checking out. Very, very sensual, very silky, creamy. It's a really great date night fragrance also, or even like a signature scent. If you like more of like the sweet vanilla fragrances, you're going to enjoy this one. Easily accessible because you can get this a ton of stores, like Ulta has this. Sometimes it's on sale. It's not super duper pricey, so you can definitely go into stores, try it out for yourself before you buy a full-size bottle. So last but not least, I'm going to end it off with a new vanilla scent that recently just launched, and it's something a little bit lighter, easier to digest. It's not overly sweet, so definitely one I recommend you guys checking out, especially if you love the Replica line. This is their first gourmand scent, and it's called Afternoon Delight. So when I looked up the notes on Fragrantica, there is vanilla, whipped cream, musk, sandalwood, and madeleine. I think it's a cookie, if I'm not mistaken. This is very light, very fresh. It's kind of has like a almondy vibe in my opinion when I smell it, and I think it might be from the cookie. And the muskiness in the dry down is just very clean, like a fresh, clean, imagine like clean skin vibes. The whipped cream just gives it like a fluffiness in this fragrance, but ultimately when I smell this one, it kind of just gives me almond vibes, like very light almond vibes, a little bit of bitterness that I get in this one. The vanilla, I still get vanilla in here, but it's not heavy, and it's just a really very light kind of fragrance that smells like I went to a bakery to get my latte pastry on the side. I get this like bitter almond vibe when I spray this fragrance, and it's very fluffy at the same time. So definitely one that's quite unique. A lot of the fragrances in the Replica line, you get what it's called. Like you completely understand. Like Jazz Club literally smells like a boozy jazz club. By the fireplace, that's what it smells like. You're roasting marshmallows by the fireplace. This one's a little bit different. It's called Afternoon Delight, But if you've never tried, I think that Madeleine cookie, which that's what I think it's supposed to represent almost, you won't know what this smells like. And I had never tasted that cookie. So now I get the scent profile. And I'm actually surprised that they don't describe this as more of like an almondy, nutty scent, because I get this like bitter almond vibe in this fragrance. And it's really unique, super unique. It's one that I'll be honest and say that I'm not completely in love with just yet, but do I want to experiment, play around with it and see how I feel about it? Yes. I want to do a quick honorable mention, and this is a really great fruity scent. It is called Nota Sugar from Yulica Parfums. This is one that smells so good. I do think it's great for the summertime still, even though it's quite sweet, but I think it's going to work out really nicely if you love that like almost like fruity vibe for the winter time. It's very sweet, decadent, dense. It has a beautiful pineapple note in here. It's very sugary to me also, and it's a fragrance that you don't need to overspray. I do find that this lasts really well on me. So if you love something that is like a thicker, denser, fruity scent, specifically like tropical fruits, this is definitely one that I would recommend. It is a gorgeous gourmand. You can wear it on its own, but you can definitely layer it with other fragrances. But ooh, is she good? She is good. I've layered it with Moon Glory and it smells so good. I've also layered it with Mirage Gourmand and they smelled really well together. So if you've never tried Yulica, I have 2 fragrances from them and I really am impressed with the brand. So definitely check them out if you haven't already. So guys, that is it for this video. I'm going to end it here. If you guys want to see a part 2, maybe I could do a part 2, but these are like for the most part my gourmand fragrances. I'm definitely a floral girly, so I'm pretty particular with gourmand. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao!